Well, Henshaw here again for the Constitutional Crisis Channel. Another kind of current events topic here, and especially given the events in the last year and a half or so. And it's a lot of my personal opinion here, but it seems to me like that PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, is not a qualification that you would want to have someone hired to become a peace officer, quote unquote. I mean, with that, it's unpredictable. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen in a situation. You can't predict how they're going to react in situations where cops think their lives is being threatened. And frankly, I think this is how we end up with cases like the 6-year-old kid that just got shot, Jeremy Mardis in Louisiana. And I'm expecting then you may see the PTSD defense there. If you do, you're going to get word from me that I'm going to put in an amicus brief to oppose its use. Because that's not an excuse. To me, if you got PTSD, yeah, that's not only a disqualification, you should never have been hired, but it becomes the responsibility of the person who hired these cops in the first place, who knew or should have known that this was an eminently predictable outcome sooner or later in some setting. Now, I feel somewhat the same way about military experience, especially in this day and age. I mean, this is not like we're talking about Leroy Jethro Gibbs here. Not how it works. When you go over to Iraq, Afghanistan, who knows, and you suffer all these situations where you're in constant danger and peril, how can you then come back and expect to perform as a peace officer, quote unquote, and not have that mindset and be quick on the trigger? It gets even worse because most of these cops probably think they're going to have immunity for most of what they do and get away with it. And they will almost across the board if you file civil rights claims. The government has to make it look good once in a while to be sure, and there are some cases, Eric Garner pops immediately to mind, where there is going to be some real things happen there. But then you look at the case of Oscar Grant out here in Fruitvale at the BART station here, and that bastard cop ended up getting very little time in jail. I think he got released early for good behavior, no less. Now, if it had been Oscar Grant that would have confused his taser, with a Glock 9mm, do you think he would have got the same sentence? I mean, it's just ridiculous to think that that's the way it works. So I think these two things are disqualifications, military service and or PTSD. And, the most you should be able to do with the police department maybe is work at a desk job. And even then there might be some ramifications. But as I say, if they start making that defense, these police benevolent associations are going to bring that defense. They're going to run into me. And I don't think they're going to like the result, although you will love it. Thank you.